Alright, this video is for my Math 7 class, and it will be a guide for them as they work through Chapter 12 out of their textbook, dealing with different sorts of statistics and working with data. So there are three primary things that we're going to look at in this chapter. And each of them is what we refer to as a measure of central tendency. Now, when we refer to the word statistics, that sort of thing, it's really just a fancy word of saying organizing numbers so that we can make sense of them. So when we take a measure of central tendency, what we're talking about is coming up with a way of, when we have a bunch of numbers, of organizing them in a way that shows kind of the average really of what's going on. And so another way of referring to a measure of central tendency that we might be more familiar with is an average. Okay? Now we have three different forms of averages, and those forms hopefully are a little bit familiar to you. We have the mean, the median, and the mode. So this video will look at each of these three, and we'll show when each one is best used, some of the strengths or the advantages of using each one. So we will start off by using the one that we probably use most often, and that would be the mean. So the mean. The mean is the way that we traditionally call the average. Okay, so while all three of these measures of central tendency are technically averages, usually when we talk about average, we are talking about the mean. Basically, the mean is when we have a set of numbers, we would add them all up and divide by the number of numbers that we're adding up. So it sounds a little complicated, but we'll look at an average or an example of it. Okay, so for example, say we have a list of numbers that looks like this. Maybe these are quiz scores on a math test. Okay, so I'm looking for the class average at the end. The quiz is out of 10, and we've got scores of 4 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10, another 8, maybe a 3, a 9, and then finally a 10. So we've got a class of, how many people are in the class? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in the class. That's going to be important. Okay. And this would be how we would go about finding the mean. Okay, so the mean is equal to the sum of the numbers. So sum, we mean adding. Okay, and then we're going to divide that by the number of numbers. Okay, so I'll show you what we mean. Let's add up all of these numbers listed here. So if we make a column here, we've got 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8 plus 3 plus 9 and plus 10. Okay, so if we add them up, 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 8 is 18, plus another 8 is 26, plus 3 is 29, plus 9 is 38, and plus 10 is 48. Okay, you could double check that if you needed to, but 48 would be what we have on the top. 48, and we divide by the number of numbers. Well, how many numbers did I add up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 7 people in the class, so we're going to divide that by 7. Oh, and the numbers I chose are just off because it doesn't work out quite nicely. If we did 48 divided by 7, we're going to get a number just less than 7, so perhaps maybe 6.8 or something like that. Okay, that would be what we would refer to as the mean, or the class average. Okay, let's look at the next measure of central tendency. That is the median. Okay, median. The median is particularly useful when we've got a set of numbers that are all pretty close together, or we'll look at another example where it might be useful as well. But a median is basically the middle number in a set of data. So, for example, let's use another class set of scores case. So this time the test is going to be out of 15 marks, okay? Out of 15, and our class is going to score these marks, okay? So someone's going to get a 7, we're going to have a 10, we're going to have a 12, a 14, a 9, an 11, and a 12. Okay, so we've got, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 students in our class. The way we would find the median is to find the middle number. Okay, so common mistake would be, oh, the middle number, if there's 7, it must be 3 in from each side. Well, that must be the middle number. Okay, while that is the middle number in the way that it's written, the first step we must do, okay, is place numbers from smallest to biggest. Smallest to largest. Okay? That way we always are counting the right middle number. Right? So before we could start using this data that's given, we have to organize it from smallest to biggest. So the smallest one is 7. Okay, then the next one we've got a 9. We've got a 10. We've got an 11. We've got 2 12s and a 14. Okay, so we've got all 7 of them there. Now that we have it, we choose the middle number. Okay, so the middle number here is, if we count in 1, 2, 3, and we count in 1, 2, 3 jumps, okay, both of them end up at 11. Median equals 11. Now, that worked out really nice because we have a odd set of numbers, so it equals the 1. But we're going to show an example where that might not work out. Okay, what if we had an even set of numbers? So 1, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. If we count in, okay, they're already placed in order, so we can start counting in already. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, the middle numbers are both 6 and 8. Okay, well, that doesn't work very good. So the way that you'd find a median number, if it was an even number of numbers, was count in and get the two middle numbers, and find the mean between them. Okay. So the mean, remember, is we add up the two numbers and divide by the number of numbers. So the mean of 6 and 8 would be 6 plus 8 is 14. We divide by, we added up two numbers, so 7. So 7 is the mean of those two numbers, and therefore the median of this set of numbers. Okay? Good. Okay, the final measure of central tendency that we're going to look at is the mode. And the way I remember mode is the one that happens most often. Okay, so all the mode is if we have a set of numbers. Okay, so again, these can be quiz scores out of 5. Okay, so we've got 1, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 2, 2, 1, 3. Okay, that is a set of numbers that are quiz scores out of 5. The mode is simply counting up how many of each number we have. So how many 1s were there? There's 1, 2 1s. Okay, how many 2s were there? 1, 2. How many 3s were there? 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Any 4s? There's 1, and there's 1, 5. Okay, so all you got to do is tally up which has the most of them. We see that 3's happen most, so therefore 3 is the mode. Okay, if there was a tie, say that we add 2 more 2's in here. Okay, then this number would also be 4, and then you would have 2 and 3. Okay, you can have multiple modes, that's okay. Okay, good. Those are the measures of central tendency. We'll stop this video now, and we'll do one more video to wrap this section up in a second. Okay.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.